Nate, your mic's muted. Sorry. Hey, how's it going? Just like that, we're back once again for another RCS Live. How's it going? As always, Nate Mumford, Director of Sales Engineering here at RCS. Today, we're talking about GSelector and our category changer. It's Music Changes Day. Time to do it quickly and efficiently the way that you want to see it over in GSelector. Back from CRS, had a fantastic week talking about all things RCS and country music. It was a lot of fun seeing everybody. Great time. And don't forget, we have a ton of events coming up as well. NAB is just around the corner. For our friends over in Europe, we have Radio Days that's there too. And then, of course, more. And we also have added to that list, I think Conclave will be at this year as well, and a couple other events. So just be aware if you're out and about. We're taking the RCS Academy on the road. You might have seen us do some RCS live stuff last week from Nashville. We're just sitting and just kind of talking about what you want to talk about. I've had some users that were like, hey, I can't touch my database. Show me on yours how we can do a couple different scheduling techniques. We introduced a couple ways to kind of make, a little more efficient for their scheduling. We had other users talking about, the S3 stuff, and how to schedule some of that, which is really cool. So a lot of really great, helpful tools for you, just so you know it's there. And so if you want to tap into it, just go and reach out to rcsworks.com. Marketing at rcsworks.com, or support or your contact or whomever. We'll get you in touch with me and we'll get you in there too. Hey, Harden, how's it going? Yes, we have the chat open as well. If you have any questions, let me know. We're here to help out. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter Live. Anything that you want to chat about, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to talk about some GSelector category changers. A couple housekeeping things, get out of the way. Don't forget to check your backups, right? Check your backups. Don't forget about our archive, rcsworks.com/rcs-live. Of course, you can be a beta user as well. Always looking for beta users. Right now, we have Acquira 3.23.1. Zeta was just released this week as well. The new 5.22.1 was just released, and we have some GSelector release previews in the mix as well. Any questions regarding that, reach out to support at rcsworks.com. We'll get you in touch, get the answers you needed, and all of that good stuff. So, and finally, let's see here. Studio Spotlight, hashtag Studio Spotlight, email marketing at rcsworks.com. Want us to showcase your awesome setup on our social media platforms and all of that good stuff. And as I said, the chat is open. Hey, Zimbabwe. Thanks for checking in, Harden. I appreciate it. Shout out to Star. How's it going? Okay, so we're talking about Music Changes Day or any type of research day, whatever it could be. So working with a library and category changer. The beauty of this window is that we have category windows. You can have up to 9 any given time. So I have 8 categories in my little demo database. You can see here, I want to show you the outline that you can kind of customize this. But essentially you have from that drop down, this is going to allow you to pick the categories, right? So you pick your categories, and then, of course, you have up to 9 laid out right there, right in front of you, right, Harden? And so what you're doing here is you're really just moving things around, right? I'm taking this song here, and I'm putting it over there. I'm taking this song. Let's get something in here. We'll do, I can't handle that rude song. We'll put it over here in the spike. Just left-click, drag, and drop. That's all we're doing. Put that over here. Great. Sounds good. Hit save when we're done, and you'll see those categories will change, and the colors will change, and all of that good stuff. And so that's all we're doing here is just left-clicking, dragging, and dropping things over. That's all we're doing, right? Now, here's the beauty of the category changer. Again, left-click, drag, and drop. I know that's kind of the simple portion of this, right? It makes sense if you want to take an R and put it to a C, and a C becomes a B, and all that good stuff. It's simple. Just left-click, drag, and drop. That's all you're doing. But what I want to talk about today is how to customize this to how you interpret the category changer. For example, I'm going to do this. I have a low resolution on my monitor here because I want to show you a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to go and keep this simple, just do 3 categories here because I want to show you how to kind of customize this. And again, with the lower resolution, you can squeeze more information in here. But again, if I hit F7, clicking the A's, that's going to show me my history map for this actual category, which I don't know if you knew, you can do that both in the library, the editor, and the category changer. I can also click on this icon here, show history panes, and it brings everybody up if I wanted to. Then I can organize it up, down, get it nice and clean. And again, just like other areas, you'll notice here that we have a browse format here as well. That's right. We could assign a browse format that is station and user specific, that is specific to the category changer. Did you know you can do that? And all of a sudden, that should open up the world for you a little bit, because now we can right click on these columns to modify columns. And you'll notice there's some additional metadata that's here in these fields that you typically wouldn't include in other areas of GSelector, because they kind of cater more towards the category changer experience. So a couple ones in here. I'm just going to go down the list here and see. There's date added or week since, right? Date added, week since it was added. Those are great ones to put into the category changer. Date entered the category. Look at that. All of a sudden, that makes a lot more sense if we're putting those fields into the category changer. Again, working under library and category changer, right? And then, of course, maybe you'll have something like total plays or something like that, right? So total plays, something like this. And so when I hit OK on here, again, a lot of metadata here. We can organize this. And again, once you get to where you want it to be, save it, and it's all there for you. But you can see that there's a lot of metadata here now. So I can go and have the total plays. Again, it's just my demo database. Weeks entered in the category, right? Enter the category. What date did it enter the category? The date added overall. Date added the week since it's been added. The category, title, sound code, mood, tempo graph. All of this stuff is in here. Look at all those things we can have. Now, there's a lot of metadata there, right? But again, it's how, it pertains to you. And then also don't forget, if I right click and modify these columns, I can organize this up, down, left, right if I wanted to. So maybe I have just things that I truly care about first, because I don't really need the artist per se when I'm doing a category change, because I just really look at the song, not necessarily the artist. But I really care about is when it entered the category, right? When it was added overall. Something like that. The category itself, because I want to just visualize it nice and simple, right? And then maybe I want to look at, the sound code to make sure that it makes sense. So now this is my brand new layout. And I can make this a little cleaner here if I wanted to, expand some cells and let's see over here. There we go. I can do some things where it'd make it nice and clean here. So just something like this, state added, sound code, right? And again, once you get where you want it to do, save that layout. Right? Once you save that layout, you can then assign it. Now, don't forget, we typically don't like to work off the defaults just by nature of the beast. So we like to do a save as if you're doing it for the very first time. Save as, make something like a category changer profile, assign it. You can also go and do in the setup in the browse formats, assign it there if you wanted to. And that way, it's locked. All the formatting is there. If you have history windows open, stuff like that, it will save that too. And it's going to look exactly you want every day for Music Changes Day. That's the idea there, right? So what we're doing here is, again, left click, drag and drop. So I can take this song, over here, take this song over here. Which one I want to do? I'll put heat waves, put over there. Again, hit save, and those colors will update accordingly as well. So from there, right? Now I'm doing my Music Changes Day, right? Right, Harden? So now we're looking at this going, okay, let's take a look at what we're looking at here. So, all right, I'm making music changes. Hey, you know what? I'm noticing that, heat waves is kind of teetering a little bit, right? Whereas we'll say deja vu is got its way up. I know this is my old hot AC database, all that stuff. And so trending wise, these are songs that are going up, down, left, right, wherever you think they're going to go. And so, I might look at this and say, ooh, date entered the category. Well, notice I just put it back in that category. That's why that number's there. But maybe I do something whereas deja vu, I can look at the date entered the category versus the date added. Something like this, 9/9 versus 9/15. Okay, well, it's only been here for like a week. That's telling me that, hey, this might be a power B inside that category. But if it's only been on the station for 2 or 3 weeks, I might see that field and go, I need to make sure I still put a new music intro in front of that song. And I know that because the date added, right? That's the idea. And so by looking at the category, looking at the date added, maybe the weeks in that category, the weeks added, it'll give you indication of what's going on. Again, let's say for a second, reverse a little bit here and say the date added number of weeks or date added in the category. Again, going back to that, I have to play a new music intro next to this song. We might have a conversation with the PD and the music director saying, does this song need new music intro? Does it need it really? Well, let's take a look and see. I have my category changer because we're doing our music changes anyway. I can see everything right in front of me. And I can say, well, it's been in this category for 80, again, demo database, 80 weeks, right? Is that enough? Is that too long? Is that not long enough? But you can see the part of what I love about GSelector is it's giving you values, it's giving you metadata. The idea that this is the thing that is showing you what it's doing, right? Why is it scheduling the way it's scheduling? Look at the goals tab. Look at the balance and the attributes. How long has it been in this category for? Boom, there you go. How long has it been in your overall database for? Boom, there you go. These are tools to allow you to look at it and make conscious decisions in regards to your schedule, right? That's how we get to a better music log, is understanding both the rotation and the rules, but of course, this helpful information to make your adjustments easier during music changes day. So you might ask yourself, does this song need a new music intro? Well, let's see. It's been in the category for 3 weeks. Is that enough? Sure. Then we're good, right? Life is great. Or, hey, you know what? It's only been there for 3 weeks. We typically do new music intros for 4 weeks. So we got to make sure we add that in there for one more week, right? Or, for example, maybe there's a song that came up really early that was a power very, very quickly, and you're looking at the burn factor, right? Something like that. Well, then I can look at something like total plays, which I have somewhere in here. There's total plays. Again, just my demo database. But you can see, like, I can look at those total plays and say, wow, that hit the 5,000 mark. That's when I know mentally if it hits 5,000 spins, it's going to go from the gold-based category to a fill or a hold category, something like that, right? And I can do that. I can also, by the way, look at the things like sound code in here. I can see, or let's use mood as a great example. I can look at the mood of my power or my sub-power category, right? And see how that analyzes based on the goals and rules. Because the idea is that if I wanted to see a breakdown of my entire library, I would go to the goals, balance, and attributes and see that mood and see the breakdown, but not necessarily the category. That's what we can do here. So now, for example, we might have, let's say, we'll go over here, for example, the C's and the B's, right? And we'll say we're on the cusp of a couple of these songs, whatever the research shows us or the charts show us, all that stuff. You might say we're a fun, upbeat station, right? Well, this has got a mood of a 2. So you can see I got 3s, 4s, 1 5, and a 2. Duncan Lawrence, we'll just say for purposes of this lesson, he's on the cusp. He could be a B, but, whereas let's say Camila Cabello has got this great new song coming out, and that's a 4. Well, not for nothing, but, that's more of the vibe from my station. It's that fun, upbeat. I might bring her in, take Duncan Lawrence out, hit save on my changes, and now look at that mood in that category, that power category or sub-power category. It's really showcasing what you want the tone of the station to be. And then you look back over here, now we have a little more flexibility of a couple 2s and stuff like that, right? And so there are different ways that you can interpret this, but notice how I'm using these individual fields that typically most users forget or ignore because we're focused on the library. We're focused on the editor. We're not really kind of customizing this window here. And that's the purpose of today's lesson is you're doing music changes. Put in fields that you want to see, that you care about, right? And then while you're here, you might just do something kind of quickly and say, all right, let me see the rotations. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Okay, good patterns. Great, great, great. Hey, you know what? This one looks to be clumping up for whatever reason. Let me look at it and see why it's clumping up. There could be a weird code on it. It could be you forgot to put a code on it. Stuff like that, right? And just ways to quickly see and make sure that, hey, everything looks good. I know it's daylight savings time. That burned me every single year as a program director. Like clockwork, every time it cracks me up. I can do it for 10 years and still I forget it's daylight savings time. And I'm looking at my rotations going, why is it off? Like there's something weird going on with my patterns. And daylight savings time. There you go, right? Stuff like that. And you can see and make sure everything lines up. One thing I might notice here, for example, is, hey, I may have done clock changes or I might have done a couple different, big picture changes here. And just going through my music changes on my Tuesday, I'm moving things around. Let me just take a look here at the history quick. And hey, you know what? I don't have a lot of yellow here in that C category. Interesting. Let's go here and see. All right. So there's these must be, I moved them just around here. So I'm like, okay, well, there's a lot of yellow there. Okay, I might make some clock changes based on seeing the history, right? Stuff like that. So again, hopefully you can see we're trying to really cater this to how you interpret it. At the root, the category changer is such a helpful tool. Left click, drag and drop, save your changes. Music changes are done. We're good to go. But I want to escalate that and then have you really customize this. One of the things that I used to do once every quarter or half year is me and my PD and APD and MD would get together and we would all look at all the gold songs, right, inside the category. And so I might take this again. I'll switch this and put in the O, for example, and I can see like how these are spinning, right? So I might look at this and say, hey, this has got a lot of midday spins or night spins or whatever it is, or hey, Snow Patrol. I just moved this during the break. That's why you see that. But it might have this was banned. That's another great thing that usually happens too. You can see how that's there because this particular song is banned. So this might tell me that, ooh, I'm making music changes. I just added Snow Patrol in based on research. And you know what? I just caught that it's got a rogue ban on it from a previous PD or whoever it is. Let me double click on Snow Patrol. Let me get rid of that band or adjust that band. And now I know that it's scheduling. So again, a macro workflow in regards to if I'm doing, let's say, gold-based, recurrent, really mass shuffling songs around, this would be a great way of just going through and making sure that, hey, everything looks good, everything's clean, and we're good to go. Does that make sense, everybody? Right? Last call for questions here. We're doing that. Double checking here. Brian, any questions? Santosh, any questions? Sorry if I messed it up over there. Harden, any questions? Let me know. I'm here to help out as always for RCS Lives. Stalling for time. Again, don't forget we're going to be on the road, radio days in Europe, NAB as well. And of course, we got Conclave, the All Access Audio Summit. That's going to be virtual. Canada Music Week, Radio Days North America is in there with Canada Music Week, and a bunch of other great events as well. So if we're going to be out and about doing the RCS Academy, taking it on the road, you want to sit down and talk about GSelector, Zeta, Acquira, Zeta Cloud, RCS News, Revma, you name it, we'll talk about it. And of course, one of the beauty is that what I did at CRS this past week is I had them send me the data exchange so we can play with it offline. And we can say, hey, what if we add this rule? What if we change this vocalist minsep to 20 minutes? What happens? Right? Stuff like that. So it's a really, really helpful tool there too. So, all right. And as always, don't forget, we have the archive over at rcsworks.com/rcs-live. You can also get there by going to the blog section at rcsworks.com. Some great resources for you there too. So hopefully, in regards to GSelector's category changer, left click, drag and drop, have up to 9 categories up here. Save your own category changer browse format. You can hide your history panes or display them if you want. Don't forget you can change your attribute here too. Typically, we like song. That's most common. And of course, cater this. You'll see these fields like entered category week since, date added week since, total plays. There are fields here that really kind of cater more toward the category changer experience than that of the overall library. And that could be both user and station specific as well. So if you have, let's say, your music changes, you might have your own category changer for a station A, might be different for the next station as well. Make sense? All right. Go have fun. We'll talk to you a bit next Thursday for another RCS Live. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend.